Welcome back, everybody. So in my last stealth video, I went over all kinds of different tips and tricks for sleeping in your vehicle, but my main focus was sleeping in neighborhoods. So in this video, I'm gonna explore all different kinds of places where you can park and kind of go over the pros and cons and have a little fun with it and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as, you know, how much I'd like to park there. So I've got a lot of really smart and experienced people that watch my videos, so I'm hoping that they will leave their comments and share their experience and add in anything I left out, or just share their experience that's different from mine. So let's get into it and rate some sleep spots, man. Let's have some fun with this. So here we go. This is a park and ride, which is used for the local bus service here around Portland, and you can stay for up to 24 hours. So you could totally park here and be fine. And look, there's all these really nice apartments here. You'd probably be totally safe. Police probably patrol it, as long as you're respectful and you're not, you know, setting up chairs and the sun is so bright, you know, got your fire pit out or something. You'd probably be good to go, man. This would probably be a really good spot. So I'm gonna save this as a backup in case I'm ever in this side of town and just need a spot to crash. I'm gonna give this a, like a 9 out of 10. If you end up in like a kind of a sketchy area or something, you know, it might not be as good. But this area out here is really nice, so I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. This is pretty sweet. All right, so here's one. Casual encounters or Tinder, man. Find yourself a friend for the night. Might even get lucky and get a place to sleep, get a hot shower, maybe even get some food. That could be pretty rad, man. That could really work out for you. I'm gonna give that one an 11 out of 10. That would be pretty rad. Here's another one. If you're pulling through, like you're out in the middle of nowhere, say you're like in Eastern Oregon or Nevada or something, and you're really tired, and you finally pull into this little town out in the middle of nowhere, and you realize that it's really sketchy and run down, and it looks like everybody's on drugs. You could go to the police department or the sheriff's office and just say, hey, I'm pulling through town. I'm really tired. I don't feel like it's safe to drive anymore. Can I park in your parking lot and get some sleep and, you know, take off when I'm ready to go? I'll bet anything they'd let you do it. I haven't done that. I'd rather just push through and get to the next town and get somewhere where I feel safe. But that could totally work, and that would be a very high rating if you needed it. Because what safer place is there than a police station parking lot, you know what I mean? All right, here we go. We have an apartment complex on the right, and we have street side parking. This doesn't look too bad, right? Well, let's look a little closer. Let's look at some signs. So we have this lowered car with rims on it, loud exhaust. The apartment building itself is old and doesn't look to be in that great a condition. We got all this, oh yeah, what is that, MS-13, gang tagging. We got another lowered car with loud exhaust. What else we got up here? We got some rundown buildings. Oh, look at this. We got a rundown RV with a bunch of metal scrap and parts all over the place. All these buildings look old. There's glass all over the side of the road where somebody's windows got smashed out. Yeah, this isn't looking too hot, man. All these signs, the gang tagging, the glass, the cheap cars. I don't have anything against lowering cars and modifying them, but when you see that style tells me I do meth, you know, or I'm involved in sketchy criminal kind of things. I'm being very judgmental, but you kind of have to be, you know. That's kind of what it is to be a human. So this area, this is a 1 out of 10. I would not sleep here. It's too run down, too much crime happens here for me. So I'm out. 1 out of 10. Here we go, 10 minutes away. There's a medical center. Look at all this street side parking. All the cars are newer and nicer. This neighborhood is newer and much nicer. Look at all the street side parking, man. This is amazing. This is beautiful. This is actually the area where I slept last night, and this is just 10 minutes away. Look at all the street side parking. This is beautiful. This is so much nicer. And there's a park right here. You could kind of park at the end. You know, I wouldn't be like right in the middle of the park because there's gonna be a lot of people out in the morning walking their dogs and kids playing and screaming and stuff. So this is like 10 out of 10 territory. I mean, the only way you could get better is to get out in the middle of, you know, actually be camping or something where there's no traffic, there's nothing going on. This is 10 out of 10. This is great. So this is a hotel And on this side, there's a restaurant. I think parking right in between, like on the outskirts back here, especially if you pull in later at night when all the cars are pretty much here that are gonna be here, this could be a really good spot. You know, for me, all these pollenous trees would be an issue, but that's not for most people. So this could be a really good spot. Some things to expect that could be issues. The main thing is noise, really. Just people coming and going. And you want to make sure it's on a good part of town. If you're in a rough side of town, just go to the nicer part of town. Or if it's a really rough looking town in general, maybe just keep driving and go to the next one. You can kind of figure that out by looking at the stores. If there's a lot of like check cashing stores and bars on all the windows and a bunch of broken down cars on the side of the road and kind of sketchy looking people everywhere and it looks run down, then obviously it's not a very nice area. So this, I'm gonna give this like an 8 out of 10. This could be a really good, especially if you're just like pulling through town, this could work really well. Here we go, guys. One of my favorites, casinos. I love casinos. We got this RV parking area in the back. We got van dwellers all over the place. There's a ton of great parking up here. Casinos almost always let you sleep overnight in their parking lots. This is one of those pull in, you know, go to sleep, don't set out your chairs and your fire pit and your awning and all that stuff. Just pull in, get some sleep. You know, these casinos work by making money, so go in, you know, spend a couple bucks on some slots, or grab some dinner or something. Spend some money here. These natives kind of got the raw end of the deal. I don't need to go into that, but oh, that's cool, man. So yeah, man, gonna find a cool little spot here. I especially love this one because the ocean is right there. And I get to breathe in that beautiful ocean air all night long, and it feels great. And they've got security, so it's very safe here. It's very nice. And I'm just a huge fan of parking at casinos. I love it. I love the atmosphere of going into the casino, walking around, and it's just fun. So yeah, casinos, 10 out of 10. I love them. Okay, so here's one. We have a business, like a multi-business parking lot. We got Trader Joe's down there and like a mattress store. And down here we have a bunch of other businesses. It's right next to the freeway. I probably wouldn't stay here because a lot of these big business lots that have a bunch of different businesses in them, they have security that goes to multiple businesses and will stop through here. It could work, but you're kind of running a crapshoot. If you catch the security guard and kind of flag them down and ask them if it's okay to sleep there, if you promise not to make a mess and leave in the morning, they might totally let you, and you might be totally cool. But they might not show up for several hours until you're already well asleep, and then they might wake you up, or they might call the cops, or they might call a tow truck. So that could be an issue. It's really noisy, and in the morning there's going to be a lot of people showing up really early for these businesses, so if you're not an early riser, that may be an issue for you. So I'm going to give this one like a 4 out of 10. I wouldn't stay here. Too loud, too much of a chance of getting hassled. Alright, so one night I slept exactly where this Accord is, which, oh wow, that's a bummer. Thinking that, oh, this is the side of an apartment, we've got a shopping center over here, this looks great. What I didn't realize was that at about 4 or 5 in the morning, a bunch of semi-trucks went right by me to go deliver to all these stores. So be aware of that. If you're gonna shop next to a shopping center, you might hear a lot of semi-trucks in the morning. Other than that, it was a great spot. Traffic wasn't too bad in this nice little area. We've got another van dweller over here. He found a nice spot. So this little area, besides the semi-truck noise, if you can handle that, those are some nice vans, man. If you can handle the semi-truck noise, I would give that one like a 9 out of 10. But for me, that noise, it woke me up. So personally, I got to give it like a 5. It's just a little too busy here, and the noise was too much for me. Check out this Tacoma, man. That's sweet. So this street right here, notice the construction. That means noise early on. But this is right next to a massive shopping center. On that side down there is the highway. Notice all these cars in the morning. At night, most of these will not be here. Most of these are construction workers. And we've got another little thing down there. On this side you can't park, but that side right there, at night when you pulled in, that would be really tempting because there might be like one semi-truck and that's it, maybe 2, and the rest would be totally empty. So it'd be like really tempting to park there if I pulled in at night. but in the morning I'd have all that noise. So I could have noticed all the new construction and kind of assumed that in the morning it would be pretty loud. So I'm gonna give that one like a 3 out of 10. If it wasn't for the construction, that would be a pretty good spot, especially just like one night pulling through town. We're right off the freeway here. That wouldn't be bad. Here we go, off-street parking. Bunch of like duplexes or apartments here, I don't know what they are. We've got a hospital on this side. I'd much rather be on the street than in the hospital parking lot because you don't have the risk of security kicking you out. All right, here we go. We got really nice, beautiful houses on this side. The woods on this side. This would be great. Only issue is this road's kind of tight if you park on that side, and it's a main through road. So people are gonna drive through here really fast, and it's gonna probably rock your vehicle. And if somebody did swerve into you, you know, they'd be going at a fast speed. But other than that, you've got woods. I guarantee you're gonna hear frogs all night long here in the spring. I'm gonna give that one like a 6 out of 10. That's pretty good. And there's a bunch of apartments right here on the left. So down this area, maybe if you got like right here, right by the stop sign, people wouldn't be as fast. This is great. This is what I look for. If you come to a new town, go to Google Maps and search apartment complexes. Look on the edge of town for the new developments, the new areas that are really nice, and they're gonna be expensive, and the people that live there are going to be gainfully employed and generally very responsible people, so there will be less you know, loud bass and sketchy people in the middle of the night and stuff like that. It'll be a much safer area. That's your best bet for finding parking. And then just find like, I don't know, 15 spots, put down a pin in Google Maps and rotate them. Go to a different spot every night, and you know, that means that once or twice a month you stay in one spot. You show up late, you leave early, and that's it. Look at this, man. This is just like endless sleep spots, but look how tight it is. So every car is gonna be going right by you. So actually I'm gonna downgrade this stretch a little bit and make it probably a 6 out of 10. Okay, so this is like an industrial area, but there's this giant new apartment complex right here. So I wanna show you the spot down here. They have their own parking lot, which I would not do. But they have this spot. Oh, look at this Subaru, dude. That is so cool. That thing looks like a blast. This, you know, if this had half as many cars, this would be perfect. This would be probably a 9 out of 10. But it is totally full. I mean, there's a couple little spots at the end, but I wouldn't want to take up parking for someone who lives here, just, you know, got off their graveyard shift or something and just trying to get home and get to sleep. So I guess in the end, this is not highly rated. This is pretty low. Woo! Here is a industrial area with a bunch of like industrial offices up here. If I had a Sprinter or a ProMaster or something like that, this would be ideal. Especially if I didn't have, you know, added windows and obvious solar panels and fans, and it was pretty low key that way. Especially on a weekend, dude. You just roll up in here and park, and that's it. Like this, who knows, this guy could be a van dweller. You never know. Look at all those vans over there, you fit right in. A cop would come by and have no idea. But most of these places probably open at like 6, so you gotta kind of be an early bird and just get out of there. Or be willing to, you know, have an awkward situation when you wake up and the parking lot's totally full of people. Who knows? Church parking lots. I've never done it. I definitely wouldn't do it on a Saturday night, that's for sure, or a Tuesday night. They usually have, well, it depends on the type of church, but they usually have like youth group and stuff on Wednesdays. Totally depends on what religion it is and everything. But I've never slept in a church parking lot. It seems like something you'd want to have permission for, or I don't know, I guess it depends on the church. I've never done it. Let me know you guys' experience if you've ever parked at a church. It seems like something where cops would go by and kind of investigate and see what's going on, and you might get hassled, but I don't know. I've never tried it. Gym parking lots. This is an LA Fitness. I don't think they're 24 hours. I would probably go like kind of off to the side here, a low traffic area, but probably not all the way in the back, because in the middle of the night you might get, depending on the area, you might get some kind of sketchy characters back there. You never know. But yeah, 24-hour parking lots, mint. They can be busy, they can be kind of noisy during the day. There's a lot A lot of bros with loud exhaust and bass that pull in. You know, a lot of testosterone going on, so they drive kind of fast. So maybe be aware of that. But other than that, dude, like that's a 9 out of 10. That's an easy one, very easy. This is an absolute gold mine. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. Look at this. The parking on the side of the street is so far over that even when cars go by, it's not gonna bother you. And you could park in such a way, like right here on the corner, where, oh, here's a parking lot. Let's check this out. What do we got here? What are these spots? Oh my God, look at this spot right here. That's amazing. 11 out of 10. Oh, look at these. Dude, nobody's gonna bother you if you park here overnight for like one night. So this parking lot, there's a bunch of businesses downstairs, down on the bottom floor, and that looks like the upper floor is housing. And then in here, this is people's garages. So if you parked right here, it just looks like you're visiting one of them. The only issue here is the potential for landscapers and yeah, basically just landscapers with their leaf blowers that are like the bane of my existence, dude. I can't stand that sound. It's almost as bad as studded tires in summer. Like people are still, it's not summer yet, but people are still driving around with studded tires. That sound is like nails on chalkboard. Check out this coyote. Look at this coyote. That's beautiful. Okay, so a couple that I can't really show, but I could talk about. One is casual encounters on Craigslist, or I can't do this with a straight face.